Welcome to Dump Truck Toolbox. I'm Alan. Today I've been hauling mud and dirt and topsoil, and we're going to be talking about training and backing. So I had another day of training in the Quint. Senior driver continued to be my instructor. Today we worked two job sites. The first job site was right on the interstate. Had to come to almost a complete stop in the right-hand lane of traffic and pull over um, and then get off the road. I had to dodge around a Jersey wall and avoid hitting another Jersey wall in front of me. And so to do that, what my instructor recommended and what I did was to turn on the strobe lights a good distance away, maybe 30 seconds away from where I was going to have to start slowing down. Then as I got close to the point where I would be beginning the turn, I turned on my right signal, and then when I had to really start slowing down, I turned on my four-way flashers. And so the strobe lights are like, I'm a hazard. The right signal is, I'm going to turn right here. And then the emergency flashers and the strobe light, together, like I'm really a hazard. um, and it worked well. The first time I set it up in a way that I actually stayed on the very small service lane on the left side of the Jersey wall, and then backed down and into the spot I needed to be in. And that worked, but it wasn't a very comfortable way to do it. The second time I did it, I came up to the gap between the two Jersey walls, made a very hard right turn, got my tail off of uh, the through lane there, and was able to adjust the bus going forward so that I could complete the maneuver backwards without swinging the bus too wildly. And so I stayed out of the lane and I didn't have to cut too hard. And then I had to back around a corner to actually get to the spot where we were loading the dirt, loading the mud. So that was interesting. Like I said, the first time it was fine. It wasn't unsafe, but it wasn't ideal. And then when I figured out this better way of doing it, we did I think we did 4 loads out of there, and it was all good. We finished up the hauling from that site, and we had to move to a second site. And I'd been there before, but not as a driver. I'd been there for my ride-along day at the beginning of my training. And this was a substantially tighter site. It was a retention pond, and we entered it from a freeway ramp. So the getting off the freeway was not much of an issue. There's plenty of space on the job site. So we just slowed down and had the hazards or had the strobes on and the right signal and pulled off into the gravel, and that was all good. But the backing maneuver there was substantially more difficult. There was a very narrow path uh, between the grade leading down into the retention pond and a dirt pile or a dirt wall on the other side. And so I started the backing maneuver, got lined up, in a way that I thought was good, and I was focusing on the dirt wall on my left side, and the rear tires got too close to the embankment, and so a little help from another truck driver and my senior instructor, stop, and so I did and pulled forward again. And then I tried the maneuver again, and it still didn't work. And so we switched out. The senior instructor completed that move, and then he did another run or two, and then they set up some a big orange reflective barrel and an orange cone to mark where the lane was that I had to go down. And using that, I was able to get into the site, and it was still a very, very difficult maneuver. And so the key lesson for me in all of this is really that backing is difficult. You may have seen this video previously where I talked about the challenge of backing on a job site. And then the second observation, and in my analysis, this was my biggest flaw in this whole thing, is I didn't know where I was going. And instead of stopping and either figuring out exactly where the truck needed to go, or asking my instructor where it needed to go, or saying, this maneuver is really too difficult for me, instead I started backing up, came too close to the embankment, reset, stopped myself on the second time around, but still had the difficulty of basically saying, I don't know what I'm doing here. I know when I was a bus driving instructor, I preached that backing up is where most accidents happen in buses, and I don't know if that's true in a dump truck, but I would not be surprised at all. And I used to talk about how you need to know what's behind your vehicle, before you move the vehicle, and I violated my own principle that I've taught other drivers. So my instructor is very good. He was appropriately assertive at the point of crisis, and then he was very supportive and encouraging. And just between you and me, I think he thought I might quit, and I was not going to quit. I enjoy the company, I enjoy the truck, enjoy my instructor, and so we talked it through, and then I gave him a little time in the office when we got back. I filled the truck with DEF and did the post trip and parked the bus um, to give him a little time to go in and chat with uh, the, the the dispatcher, who's really a supervisor, and then I came in and touched base with the supervisor, and we came up with a plan where I'll get at a minimum one more day of training, and it will be focused primarily on the job site, on managing the truck, moving the truck around on the job site. Other elements of the job, according to my instructor, I'm driving well, on the road. Um, I seem to understand most of the other aspects of being a dump truck driver, but managing the job site, getting the truck safely um, to the position it needs to be on the job site. That's where I could use more practice. So that's the plan. Maybe a little less than reverent thought is, if driving a dump truck was easy, anybody could do it. hopefully I'm not proving that I cannot drive a dump truck. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned. As always, if you enjoyed this video or you found it useful, please like. Always encourage you to subscribe if you haven't done so. When you subscribe, it helps other people find our channel and join the dialogue. So as always, be safe out there. And part of that is, if you're backing, make sure you know what is behind your vehicle. So I hope to see you soon on the Dump Truck Toolbox.